Bang, bang, bang. 3-0 start to the week. Yesterday, we get two more bets. Cash them. Astros, even money. And the big-time dog, Cardinals, plus 183 for a unit. So far, up 6 units on the week. 3-0, all even money or better. And it's a pretty good start to the first week of NFL. Now, John with me here today, guys. John will be back with me tomorrow, last day before the NFL season. So getting some things prepped out really quick. Just some things about the NFL season. Tomorrow's episode will be a season preview, and we will be covering the Thursday night game. And this is the last day to sign up, guys. For members, if you guys are going to be a member by tomorrow, then you'll get access to our NFL Pick'em pool, which will have a $1,000 cash prize. So make sure you guys go to the link in the description below, go to the website, howtobeatthebookie.com, or download the How to Beat the Bookie app. Sign up, you get into the Pick'em pool, and of course, you'll get all of John's bets heading into NFL Week 1 of college football. Today, I'm going to do a baseball rundown. Last week, I was here just by myself, did a little bit of college football as well. We'll be back on Friday doing college football with you guys. This will be the last baseball insight you guys get on the podcast this week. So if you guys want baseball insight from here on forward, make sure you guys go to the How to Beat the Bookie app, become a member. Thursday, like I said, NFL season preview. Friday, college football. And I will be back streaming on Saturday. Tried streaming this past Saturday. I know I told you guys I was going to be. And then YouTube did not let me go live. So I believe we have that sorted out now. There were some things we had to get approval, and then they had to process 24, 40-hour approval, the holiday weekend, so they didn't approve it. Bunch of bullshit. Long story short, should be back this weekend with some streams on here, both for Saturday college action and NFL Sunday. But we got some MLB action going on today. We got some day games, different things going on. So let's go ahead and dive into this MLB card. Like I said, Johnny Boy, 3-0 start to the week. Big credit to him, by the way. I'm pulling the Cardinals bet yesterday. Obviously, that was a side. You had Braves coming in a letdown spot after winning 3 or 4 against the Dodgers. They come back, you're pitching Soroka, but even still, did not have the balls myself. That was not my read. That was solely John. So big credit to him for that. And hopefully we can pick up where we left off these first couple of days to start the week. Gotta love a 3-0 start. First game on the card today, we got Brewers and the Pirates. Brewers even up the series last night. They won 8 of 12 meetings so far this season. This is the last meeting of the year between these two teams. McCutchen, he didn't play last night. Questionable. Wait to see what's going on with him. Peralta versus Selby. Selby going to be the opener here for Pittsburgh. And Peralta really just been on such a tear this last couple of 7 straight starts. Brewers won 7 straight starts of his. He's 5-0 with a 1.71 ERA in that span. Last time out, 1 run, 6 innings, 10 Ks, no walks against the Phillies. Pretty good starts against the Pittsburgh this year as well. Definitely gets the pitching edge. Brewers get the team edge. If you guys tuned in yesterday, you heard us say lean would be Pittsburgh, but feels like we missed the wedding on Monday, and that's just kind of the thought here still going through. Pretty much the Pirates have pulled out 1 game in each of the series they have played thus far this season, and looks like we missed the boat in this series. So big number here, but still would be Brewers on the run line or nothing. Too big of a pitching edge. Brewers need the wins too much here against Pittsburgh to go ahead and buck that. Then we have the Cubbies and the Giants. Giants road record, guys. This one's going to be quick. Same shit as we talked about the last 2 days. They just not getting it done on the road. 4-19, their last 23 road games. Really tough to back that. Yes, you're getting decent dog money here, but still no interest in the Giants at this price with what they've been doing on the road. They have Wood on the bump today, and Wood is going to be making his first start since July 21st. Since then, he's had 9 relief outings. He's been decent in that span, 2.74 ERA, but now going back, hasn't gone longer than 4 innings since beginning of July. So you're getting more or less an opener out of Wood. I mean, he's going to be, taking a bit of a bulk roll, 3-4 innings. How much more beyond that are you going to get? And then Wicks for the Cubbies, 2 career starts, 2 Ws, 2 runs, 10 innings, 12 Ks, 4 walks. That's against Cincy and Pittsburgh. Now he gets the Giants here who've been not getting it done on the road lately. So somewhat cheap price here, looking at -135, -140 for the Cubbies. Would be a lean there. Don't want to get involved in it. I know some guys will be looking to bet the no sweep. I would not be betting here. Like I said, 4-19, the Giants' last 23 road games. Just a trend I don't want to go against. Then we have Rockies at Arizona. Once again, an overlay, and for good reason. Rockies get the win last night, even up the series. D-backs, they've won 9 of 12 meetings so far this season. Flexen versus Davies today. Flexen, last time out, 4 runs and 5 2/3 versus Toronto. It was decent in August, 5.00 ERA, all considered. If you consider what he was doing earlier this season, it's really a lot better, but has been rough on the road, 8.42 ERA in 11 outings. Davies, he's been decent. 2 starts back, 2 runs, 11 innings, 11 Ks, 3 walks, 1 against Cincinnati, 1 against Baltimore. He's been better at home this season, and he had a decent outing versus the Rockies back in May. I'm going to give Davies a slight pitching here over Flexive, a very slight. Rockies, obviously, they get the win yesterday. Still NL worst, 22-49 on the road. D-backs, 2-3 right now. Their last 5 on this homestand, hitting just 224. Really big price. Don't make it this high. It would be Rockies or nothing here. But again, much like the Pittsburgh series, it's an ownership and a division battle. Which one team owns? You feel like you missed the ship yesterday with the Rockies. We missed the ship on Monday with the Pirates. Really tough to come back here and bet the Rockies again. The price is saying Rockies or nothing. Just again, we feel like we missed the wedding there. Not going to get involved in that series today. Then we have the Phillies at the Padres. Great pitching matchup. Probably the best one on the card. We have Wheeler versus Waka. Padres, they even up the series with an 8-0 win last night. Phillies had won 10 of the prior 12 meetings, 4-5 this season. Philly 2-3 right now on this trip, 35-36 on the road this season. Turner, paternity leave. That was another late scratch last night. Don't know if you guys saw that. Trey Turner getting the paternity leave 9 months after the $300 million contract. Good for him. No better way to settle or celebrate getting that big money than getting late, I suppose. But as far as this matchup, Wheeler, I'm going to give him the pitching edge. Waka, he's been solid since returning. 3-0, 2.91. Quality start versus the Giants last time out. Great at home this season. 8-2, 2.29 ERA. Wheeler, he's just been going deeper into these games. Now, Waka starting to have that leash extended. Like I said, coming off a quality start. And, when you have these guys returning off the IL, they're usually a bit more delicate. We've been seeing that a lot with Kershaw. The innings just haven't been there yet for Kershaw since returning. Wheeler, 9 of his last 10 starts, quality starts. The last 2, 4 runs in 13 innings. Decent. 20 Ks, 0 walks. Lights out stuff as far as that's concerned. Really good numbers against the Padres. Had a quality start versus them back in July and 3 starts versus them last year. All 3 quality starts, 2.90 ERA. Looking at the price of this game, this would be Phillies or nothing. -105 you can get right now. Once again, the Sharps here starting to push some money on San Diego, so keep an eye out for that. We talk about that all the time. They keep on betting San Diego. If they're going to keep betting San Diego, wait till you get that peak number. And what Wheeler's been tossing lately, his ownership trends there would be Phillies or nothing. Dodgers at Miami. We talked about the letdown spot we had action on with St. Louis versus Atlanta. And now we have a little bit of a letdown spot here yesterday with the Dodgers. Same series. Obviously, there's that playoff atmosphere with Atlanta that gets taken away. Marlins get the wins last night. They've now split 4 meetings this season. Muncy did not play. Waiting to see what's going on with him. If he's going to be back in lineup, listed questionable. Dodgers, they've just been crushing right now. 9-4 last 13 on the road. They have dropped 4 or 5, granted, against Atlanta. This would probably be about the spot they turn things back around. Lynn versus Chargoy. Chargoy going to be an opener. 2 runs in 4 innings in his last 4 outings. And then you have Lynn, who's been really solid. Roughed up by the Braves and the White Sox last 2 times out. 11 runs, 17 hits, 5 homers, 10 1/3. Sorry, Braves and the Red Sox, not White Sox. It's Braves. It's the Braves, and he was pitching in Fenway. So, one of the most, probably second most hitter-friendly ballpark and, the best offense in baseball. So take it with a grain of salt. Now put him against this Marlins team, pitcher-friendly ballpark. Lynn gets the pitching edge. Still would not make the price quite this high for the Dodgers. Slight interest here in the Marlins. Another one of these teams in the wild card race. Something to play for here. And could be a look for the under. Dodgers bats did cool off a little bit. Do lead baseball in scoring on the road. But would be a slight as it leans to the under in this matchup. Then we have the Mets at the Nationals. Could only be interested in the Nats in this one. Mets get it done last night. They've won 7 of 12 meetings this season. Another one of these divisional matchups where this is the last meeting of the year. Then you have the Mets now. They've won 4 or 5, scoring over 6 runs per game, hitting .307 this week. Bats are heating up. Nationals, complete opposite, gone ice cold. They've lost their last 6 games, 5 at home, scoring just 3.3 runs per game. Thomas didn't play last night. He's questionable. Budo versus Don. Budo just 3rd start this year. Smacked for 3 runs in 2 2/3 in relief back in early August. Adon coming off 2 starts versus Miami. First one was 6 shutout innings. Last one was 5 runs in 5 innings and a 6-1 loss there. Did have horrible starts against the Mets last year, 7 runs in 8 innings. I'm going to give the slightest of pitching edges to Adon. That's just because he has more innings under the belt, plain and simple. Quite frankly, neither guy going well. Mets have the team edge right now, playing better baseball at the moment, but still, don't make the pitching edge. With Nats having the pitching edge, I don't think the team edge is warranted to be this price. I'm closer to a pick 'em with this game. Maybe a little bit Mets favorite, -110, -112. So this is a little bit of a lean here to the Nats just on a price standpoint, but it's hot versus cold, and I don't want to go hot versus cold. You have Mets winning 4 or 5, Nats losing 6 in a row. I just have no interest in backing Washington here at this point. Would be the slightest of leans there to them, though. Then we have Cardinals at Atlanta. Cardinals getting the win last night, 10-6. Shout out Johnny Boy. Gets that win right there, 10-6. St. Louis last night. Braves have kind of owned this matchup beforehand. They had won 6 of the prior 8 meetings in Atlanta. St. Louis right now, they're 4-2, scoring 5.83 runs per game their last 6. Braves, they've dropped their last 2 since the 6-game win streak. Obviously, MLB best in pretty much everything. Best home record in baseball, home runs, average, scoring, you name it, they lead it. Hudson versus Strider. Hudson's been half decent, 4-1, 3.93 ERA his last 6 starts. Strider tied for the major league lead in wins. Obviously, they get it done with him on the bump. Went great in August, 5-1, 2.97 ERA in 6 starts. Did get roughed up for 4 runs in 6 innings against the Dodgers, but it's Dodgers take that with a grain of salt. Before that was electric. 2 quality starts versus the Cardinals last year, 1 run in 12 innings. Strider gets a clear as day pitching edge. Braves get a clear as day team edge. They absolutely deserve to be a favorite. 3-1 favorite, though. 3-1 favorite. Can't make it that high. Can't make that. Very rarely does a team ever deserve to be a 3-1 favorite. And I just listed a lot of reasons why the Braves deserve to be a big favorite, but I don't make this game over 225. So massive overlay here. And possibly we see, Braves regress a little bit. We see them lose yesterday. We talk about this often when these teams go on these win streaks. They go on these big series to the Dodgers. They lead the MLB in every category. They have the biggest lead in division. Braves aren't going anywhere. Nobody's catching them. They have no one at their heels. They can, take the foot off the gas a little bit, which is kind of expected this time of year. Would be Cardinals or nobody at this price. Might be even worth looking at one of those, plus 2.5s here for St. Louis, and you're still getting dog money at 2.5. Could be worth a look. Like I said, Hudson has been half decent, has been worse on the road, worse against the Braves, but just a price that is absolutely ridiculous. Then we have these AL matchups. Start with the division battle here with Twins and the Guardians. Twins now lead this series 2-0. They've won the first 2. They lead the Central by 7 games. Nail in the coffin now for the Cleveland season. Don't know if you guys keep up with the page Talking Baseball. You guys know Trevor Plouffe, former Twin, works with their broadcast team a little bit now. And Chris Rose, I don't know if you guys saw that night video he put out yesterday. But yeah, night Cleveland. Their season's all wrapped up now. Ryan versus Williams today. Ryan definitely gets the pitching edge. He was having a really rough go, but last couple of starts, a lot better against Texas. 2 runs, 11 innings, 14 Ks, 2 walks, and did have 2 quality starts versus the Guardians earlier this season. As far as Williams, he had knee issues his last time out, had to leave his start after just 1 inning against the Twins. And before that, 7 runs and 5 earned and 4 1/3 to the Dodgers in the prior start. So Williams, he's having some issues, bad start against LA. Then he has some knee issues. Ryan, he was pitching bad, gets the Rangers twice, puts it all together, looking good there. And yesterday's win really just kind of, like I said, night cemented the nail in the coffin there for the Guardian season. Do they show up today or do they get swept at home by the division rival? Would be a slightest of leans here to Minnesota. And once again, if you guys have been tuning in the last couple of days, you guys know I'm over on this series. I was liking the under in both matchups. I was liking Cleveland in both matchups, and I'm staying away from this game today. But my luck, it's going to go under Cleveland. That's just kind of how it seems to be sometimes in some of these series reads. Sometimes you have a good series read, sometimes you don't. This is one I have not had a good series read. Staying away from this game. Blue Jays at Oakland. Blue Jays get the win again last night. They've now won the first 2 in the series, 4 or 5 meetings this season. They've won 5 of their last 6, scoring almost 8 runs per game. They're crushing 329. Jays are on fire right now, playing good baseball. I'm going to get into this wild card race discussion as well because things are starting to open up in this wild card race in the American League. Yankees have a slim chance. That's all I'm going to say. We're going to get to that in a little bit. Yankees have a slim chance. Oakland here, Sears on the bump. Sears, he's coming off a big bounce back outing, 6 shutout innings. Granted, against this ice cold Angels team right now. Prior to that, 0-4, 8.25 ERA. Ryu, they've won his last 5 starts, 3-0, 1.50 ERA. Granted, that ERA a little bit inflated or deflated, I should say. A lot of runs given up that weren't earned runs. So it didn't affect the ERA. A lot of runs given up. Last 2, though, 5 runs, 4 earned. That's where the most of that bulk of that ERA comes from. And then was roughed up by Oakland last season. 5 runs and 4 innings and a loss to the A's last year. We'll see if there's any correlation to that this season. Really tough, though. A's get the sweep against the Angels. I thought they might come in this series and have some life. And really they did in that first game. Take it to extra innings. Can't pull it out. And obviously Jays get it yesterday pretty comfortable, 7-1. Ryu going to give him the pitching edge here, but it's ever so slightly. Sears, when he's going well, is, obviously one of the better pitchers here for Oakland, him and Blackburn. But he's a decent pitcher altogether. This is a tough game to go against Toronto, who's red hot with the bats right now. And they are currently trying to keep a hold in this AL wild card race. They're a half game back of Seattle, half game up on Texas. Right in the mix of those AL West squads would be a slightest of leans here to the A's. Again, a game I'm not getting involved in. Then we have Boston at Tampa Bay. Low walk-off bomb in the 11th. Rays get it done 8-6 last night. They won 8 of 10 meetings this year, 14 of the last 15 in Tampa Bay. Absolute matchup ownership. Verdugo, he's missed a pair of games now for Boston. He's questionable. Boston snaps a little 3-game win streak. Red Sox, another team not completely out of it. 5 games out in that wild card race. 4.5 back of Texas, 5 of Toronto. It's going to be Pivetta on the mound today. And first start for him since mid-August, giving up 7 runs and 10 2/3 and 4 relief outings since then. You guys know how we feel about Pivetta, right? They had him going in relief role, bulk relief, starting about May, June. Was going terrific. Was just absolutely killing it, following openers, coming in for that, 2 to 3, the second or third inning, going into about the 5th or 6th, giving you 4 or 5 innings in the middle of the game. Completely messed with that. It's going back to starter, back to bulk relief, back to starter. Hate when they do that to a pitcher. Let him find rhythm in one role or the other. So that's a little bit tough. Last year against Tampa Bay as well, 0-3, 6.86 ERA. Meanwhile, Glasnow, he's just – this is a saving grace for Tampa Bay. The issues with Springs, Rasmussen, McClanahan, they really need one of these pitchers to really pull away. Obviously, Glasnow was an ace before, had the Tommy John, had the issues, the surgeries, multiple injuries. Starting to look like that guy again. 7 of his last 8 starts, quality starts. Last 2, 3 runs, 13 innings, 10 Ks, 2 walks. Had a decent outing versus Boston earlier this year. Clear as day pitching edge for Glasnow. Clear as day team edge to Tampa Bay. The way they own this matchup. Biggest price we have yet to have in this series so far, and I think is warranted, would be Tampa Bay as a favorite or nothing for me in this one. And we have Tigers and the Yankees. Tigers get it outdone with the bats. 9 hits last night. Can't pull out the win. Yankees win at 5-1. They have now won, 8 of the last 10 meetings. They have now won the last 7 in New York. Tough to go against that trend. Detroit, they dropped that last 2 since the 4-game win streak. And then you have this Yankees team who has now won 4 straight, 7 of the last 8. They're playing fantastic baseball right now. Manning versus Schmidt. Manning's been terrific. Last 4 starts, 2-0, 0.38 ERA. Some of that similar to Ryu. Some earned or runs given up, not earned runs. Last time out, though, 6 shutout innings versus the Yankees. That was a winning we had for how to beat the Bookie members. If you guys remember, that was the game. Gleyber Torres had the air in extras after Volpe hit the tying home run in the 9th. And then we have Schmidt on the bump for the Yankees, who's been brutal last 4 starts. 0-2, 6.52 ERA. Last one was that same start there in Detroit. 3 runs and 4 2/3 there. Has been a bit better at home. This is a Yankees tough spot. Detroit gets the pitching edge and big-time dog action here. So it'll be a lean to the Tigers off the jump. Yankees own this matchup, which makes it tough. And they're also playing good ball right now. 7-1 their last 8. And this is where I wanted to talk about the AL wildcard race a little bit. I get it. 7.5 game back. That's a mile. That's a long ways back. But then you start to look at it. They get Toronto twice. They get KC and Pitt. Blue Jays have the toughest schedule to round out the year. They get Kansas City next. But then it's Texas, Boston, Yankees, Tampa, Yankees, Tampa. So they're going to have Kansas City and then 5 straight series against teams who need wild card wins. So there's an avenue. All I'm saying is there's an avenue for the Yankees. They're playing good baseball right now. They're not completely dead yet. They don't have that nail all the way in the coffin. Slimmest of chances, but hey, you give a team any life at all, they go win 7 of 8. They're beating up on a team they own. Just makes it really tough to go against that. Tigers are nobody there with that pitching edge with Manning. Like I said, they've won his last 4 starts with Schmidt. The Yankees lost his last 4 starts. Would be Tigers are nobody in that spot. Then a gross AL Central matchup. We have the White Sox at Kansas City. Royals, they get it done last night, 7 unanswered. They have now won the first 2 in this series, 8 of the last 9 in Kansas City. Again, a home ownership matchup and a divisional trend here. White Sox, they have now lost 5 in a row, scoring just 2.2 runs per game. KC, 3-5 on the homestand, still second worst at home in baseball. Toussaint versus Lyles, gross pitching matchup. Toussaint, bit better last 2 starts, though. 3 runs, 10 in the third, 10 Ks, 5 walks. Lyles, coming off a quality start, his best start this year versus Boston. 2 runs, 8 innings, 13-2 win there. Prior to that, though, a 1-3, 7.89 August. Was rough against the White Sox back in May. 9 runs and 14 innings there. Bit better at home. This is KC or nobody. They don't want to be laying them with a favorite price. This was the cheaper favorite price we've had in the series so far. And they've had some pitching edges in this matchup with Singer and with Reagans. I'm going to give it ever so slightly here to Lyles as well. Coming off a nice quality start, at least Lyles is going to give you innings at the minimum. I mean, he's had some rough outings this year, but he'll still go 7-8 strong. KC, like I said, divisional home ownership, 8 of the last 9 meetings in Kansas City. See if they get a sweep here over the White Sox. Them or nothing. The matchup of the day. Astros at Texas. Verlander versus Scherzer. I mean, could you get any more storybook than what we have going on coming up with this one? As far as that AL West race, Texas right now 2 games back of Houston. They have won the first 2 in the series, 27-7. They've won 12 of the last 14 meetings in Texas, 5 of 6 this season. Another divisional ownership. Verlander, last time out, roughed up by the Yanks for 6 runs, 4 homers. Prior to that, 2 starts, 11 shutout innings. Had 3 quality starts versus the Rangers last year, 1.89 ERA. Scherzer, terrific since joining Texas, 3-1, 2.21 ERA. Last held the Twins, 1 hit and 6 shutout innings. Had a quality start versus the Astros earlier this season in June. 1 run in 8 innings and 11-1 win. Pitching edge, pick your poison between a couple of old aces. I like Verlander in this situation. Give me Verlander in this rivalry standpoint, right? It's him versus a team he's faced over the last several seasons. Scherzer, new mix, new blood in the rivalry. And then obviously team edge, clear as day to Houston. Matchup ownership, 3rd best team in baseball on the road, 44-27. Texas, ice cold, 4-14 their last 18, 1-8 their last 9 at home. Do I want to bet Houston to sweep? Absolutely. This is a big plus money. We're getting an overlay because of it. And it's just sharps betting. Oh, can't lose all 3. People betting against the sweep. Fuck that. Give me Verlander and the Stros, who are absolutely crushing the ball, own this matchup, crushing on the road. Plus money, I'll take it all day long, no hesitation. Waiting to see how high this price goes. Was on Houston yesterday. Have to be looking back there today. Astros are nothing here in this matchup of Scherzer versus Verlander. Wish you guys the best of luck. Hopefully we at least get it. Betting aside, hopefully we get a nice baseball entertainment. Obviously that has all the name draw, name recognition, everything else. Then we have Orioles at the Angels. Orioles get it done last night. 10 of 13 meetings, 4 of the last 5 in LA. Gross pitching matchup, Gibson versus Sandoval. Gibson, brutal August, 7.89 ERA. Last time out, 7 runs, 9 hits, 3 homers against the White Sox. Was roughed up by Angels last season. Sandoval, Angels are 1-5 his last 6 starts. Last time out, 5 runs and 3 2/3 against Oakland. He hasn't been pitching any better. Gross pitching matchup, really a massive price on this game, all considered. We're looking at a -140 favorite here for Baltimore. Would be the slightest of leans here to the O's as a road favorite. I really have no interest in this Angels team right now. Absolutely ice cold, 5 straight, 1-8 their last 9. any bad thing they could possibly have has happened. Ohtani's missed a couple of games now. He's questionable. Murphy's Law going on in Anaheim. One little hiccup, I will say, Orioles get Boston next, maybe a bit of a look ahead. Nothing too drastic there as far as, Red Sox at their heels or anything like that in the division, but divisional matchups to look back to as they go cross-country LA out to Boston. And then to round out the card, the one interleague matchup we have going on in this set of series. We have Mariners versus Cincinnati. Reds get it done again last night. They lead the series 2-0. Seattle's now dropped 3 straight, 1-4 on the trip, falling back behind as far as this AL West race with Houston and with Texas. Currently now 1 game back of the Stros. Then the Cincy team, who was having their woes, they're now 4-2 their last 6, and they have a half game lead in the wild card race in the NL wild card race. 5.5 back of the division. That dream is gone, but currently holding that 3rd spot, up half a game on Miami, 1 game on Arizona, 2 games on San Francisco. So obviously their race here down the stretch of the season is going to be pretty intense. They do get St. Louis next. We'll see how that fares. But this game, Reds are nobody. And I don't like saying that because Gilbert has been really solid. 7-0, 2.73 on his last 2 runs in 13 2/3, 16 Ks, 1 walk. So Gilbert has been phenomenal. Just a massive price here in this series. Richardson, a couple of career starts in his belt. In his 3rd one, 2 runs, 4 2/3 there, 4 Ks, 5 walks versus the Cubbies. Hasn't been pitching well, but can't make the price this high for Seattle, even with the massive pitching edge. They went ice cold since he's heating up. Home dog or nothing here with the Reds. Not quite enough an overlay for me to want to get involved in this game. But if this price were to continue rising, open 160 as high as 172 at some spots. If I can get this price with a higher take back there, plus 165, would be interested there in the Reds and the 1 interleague matchup we have going on today. Sometimes I talk fast, guys. That's the 15-game card. Hopefully, I wasn't talking too fast. Hopefully, I was clear there. Sorry if I had any tongue twisters or mixed anything up there. Hopefully, you guys got what I was saying pointed across. A handful of leans on the card today. And if you guys, tune in the last couple of days, you guys know we didn't have any bets at this time of day. Currently, same situation. We don't have any bets at this time of day. We are looking at line movements. We are waiting for some lineups. It's a getaway day. Who's going where? Some of these bigger question marks for Dugo, Ohtani, Thomas, McCutchen. Have to see what's going on with some of these guys. As always, our members will be notified through the app and the website, howtobeatthebookie.com, or download the How to Beat the Bookie app. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment below. Like I said, tomorrow, John will be back on with me. Will be an NFL season preview as well as a breakdown for the Thursday night game. On Friday, it'll be back just myself. And we'll be doing a college football dive-in for the weekend. So hopefully you guys like your football. That's what's coming these next 2 episodes after this. And as far as the rest of the MLB insight for the rest of the week, you guys know where to sign up to get that information. 3-0 start to the week. Let's keep it rolling heading into NFL season, and let's make some money.